Well, hello all you beautiful peeps out there on the interwebs. This is Tashlan, Child of the Dog, Puddon Anpye the Pussycats, welcoming you to another edition of Creativerse. And last time I showed off that I've built this, well, we've done sort of ground floor bit. We've built a couple of lollipop trees, lollipop? Oh, it's going to be one of those days. Lollipop trees, and we've done this one tower. And I think what I want to do, I mean, because it's not going to take very long, is I want to do this little entrance way. So I'll crack on with that. I won't do this as speeded up. We'll just plinky plonk as we can. Plinky plonky plinky. We'll take it up to here, I think, and then that'll be that. I suppose we could poo. I see a chair up there. I see a little shadow of a chair and tables. Oh, look, interesting. That's no. What is that? It's a slopey thing. Okay. It'll be that, I think. And that. Okay. Oh, we need to put the glass in there. Be a bit more organized here, Tashlan. What you're doing? I'm brain dead. When I said that, it put me in mind. There used to be a television advert in South Africa that always used to crack me up. It's very, you know, sort of. They kind of put on the South African accent to emphasize their point, and they're sitting in some kind of pub or something, and the one chap says, he's got some, you know, some bar peanuts in his hand, and he's examining, and the other guy, you can see, he's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, and he's like sort of asking, you know, what do you got there, kind of thing, and the guy says, this is a peanut. A miracle of nature. And he goes on, you know, all the benefits of a peanut. And then he says, and you want to know the most amazing thing about this peanut? It's about the size of your brain. That always used to crack me up. And the thing was, is the other guy was always like, oh. It's like, oh, you really didn't get that, did you? I've just been stomped on by a rockster. That's mean. I didn't stomp on you. Oops. Placing things in your hotbar is not all that you need to do if you want to use them. Okay, this is looking. I like this, the way they've used the slopes here. It's looking very good. And oh, come on. Ah, there we go. Nice bit of. You need something grand with an entrance, don't you? I think this entrance is looking very grand. Oh, we'll plop that in there. Yes, because that'll be the part of the tower, won't it? Do I have one more light? Yes, indeed. It's a lantern, isn't it? The way they've been put in with this column, I think it looks really good. As much as I like this entrance, if I had done it, I probably would have had this 4 high, and the reason being is when you're here, it looks a bit low, because I mean this bit here is only 2 high, so it kind of looks a bit like, you know, mind your head as you go in so you don't bump your head. But that's a minor sort of niggle I have about that. Let's put that door in. It's really annoying me, and it is only a minor niggle. Otherwise, I quite like this. Let's get a door in there. Nice. Okay, so it'll be some speeded up footage for building of this other tower. I'm presuming that apart from, well, we've spotted some furniture and stuff up there, but I think it's pretty. Whoops, have I missed something here? Oh yeah, it's pretty much going to be a mirror image of what we did on the other side. Oops. I'm just going to randomly place stairs wherever I think they should be. No, don't be silly, Tashlan. Yeah. So we'll doom around this bit. Enjoy the music. And I am going to I'm trying to say what I was going to say a little bit more clearly without getting myself all confused. That was strange. I was going to say something and I was like, what? What I'm going to say is these episodes are recorded a fair bit in advance of when I actually publish them, and the reason for that is what I do is I record the sort of sped up footage when I have sort of a few quiet moments, and then I over the course of time is I kind of splice it all together, wait until I've got enough to make a decent episode, and then, you know, it's ready and raring for my usual schedule, which is I publish one Creativerse episode at least on a Thursday. So sometimes what you're seeing I've probably recorded maybe a week or two beforehand, never usually more than a couple of weeks. But it does mean sometimes then that, you know, if I get a request, oh, will you look at this or do something, I absolutely adore doing that kind of thing. I'm going to be quite clear on that. I love it. I think it's amazing, and I love that kind of sharing. But if it doesn't pop up in the very next episode, hopefully this will explain why, that I'm not, you know, sort of going, oh yes, lovely, and then not doing anything. It's simply because the episode that you'd probably expect to see that popping up in has been recorded before I got the request. I'm not sure if I'm being very clear there, but I'll try and sort of set it out as an example. Is if somebody says, oh, you know, will you build this blueprint of mine, and which I've said I'd love to build other people's blueprints, and I say yes, I will absolutely do that, and then you wait, and you know, the episode comes out on Thursday and I haven't even mentioned the fact that you've asked me to do your blueprint. It's not because I've just paid lip service to doing your blueprint, and you know, so it's sort of like, yeah, if I say that, you know, they'll give up and go away. It's absolutely not it. What it is that it's just that I've already filmed this week's episode, so it's due to come out in the episode afterwards. Having said that, while I'm just tootling around here, I'm mentioning this because I have been quite specifically asked to do a blueprint, and I've definitely said I will. I'm not doing very well today, am I? Goodness gracious me. I'm going to actually build this particular blueprint and present it as a special. In other words, it's going to be something that I'm going to do out of sequence. So I will have already put up the blueprint by the time this episode comes out, because this is actually what I'm recording here is going to be like my next week's episode, because this week's episode's already processed and done and spliced together and is as good as my limited skills can get it. It's as good as it gets, folks. So oh, hello, does not match. Oh, because it's stairs. Righty ho. It still doesn't, because it's a stair corner. Get there in the end. I'm sure you've noticed how many times I've derped at that doing this. So yes, not so good at this. That'll be better off a wall. Again, I just want to concentrate on this. There's just a little bit I need to think. Okay, there we go. So yes, please do send me all of your blueprint requests, and you know, check this out, build this and all this, and I'll always ask permission to, you know, if you've said check out my blueprint, I will definitely always ask your permission. Can I build it somewhere here? I will definitely credit you with it. And yes, wow, it's the ultimate community sharing. I absolutely love it. But I thought I would just clarify that if I say yes, I'm going to build your blueprint, and you don't see it that very week, hopefully this will explain why. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's not that I'm paying you just lip service to get you off my back or any nonsense like that. It is simply that the episode that will have been published has already been processed, recorded and everything else, and I honestly have to do this because I do have a very busy, you know, schedule in my real life, and so I have to fit in what I consider to be the fun part of my life, which is this recording for YouTube. I have to fit it around the real aspect of my life, so I do have to be a little bit more organized than I may appear when you see me, you know, derping around playing games. That my real life does have to be just a tad more planned out. I wish it didn't. I wish I could just, you know, la 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 gaily through this as well. It's a bedrock slab outer corner. Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah. Do I have that? I do. But that's just so that you guys know. I would never just pay you lip service. If I couldn't do something, or if it was something that I perhaps wasn't particularly interested in, then I would most definitely just say, that's, you know, it's very nice, thank you for telling me, it's not really my thing. If you don't mind, I won't do that. And so yeah, if I say that I'm going to build your blueprint, or if I'm going to check out your blueprint or come and visit your build, then absolutely, I may not do it exactly, you know, that very instant, but it definitely does get scheduled in, and I do what I can to make sure that I'm there. So I hope that that will prevent any future hurt feelings. I don't want people to be upset. No, I love you all. I didn't want to upset you. I don't like it when people get mad at me. It makes me sad. I do sniffles and stuff. Oop, and do strange things like that. Why did I miss that? I'm having one of those days. There we go. Okay, so now it's one of these. I do really like building blueprints. I think well, I know I've said this before. I like doing my own original work as well. But I mean, it's like, for example, now it's pretty late on a Sunday evening. I'm a little tired. I've had a busy day. And it is just nice to not have to worry too much. And I think that's what the blueprint sort of does for me. It's I get to build because I love building, but I don't have to concentrate too hard on what I'm building. I'm trying to get down the stairs. Please let me down the stairs. Thank you. Oh, stairs on Creativerse, or ladders I should say. There is something really annoying about them. They're great. I mean, there's some interesting mechanics that come from it. I mean, I've seen people make roller coasters because of the little sort of push off that it gives you and all this. But sometimes just going up and down a ladder, I'm like, oh no, I can't stand this any longer. Stop. Oh, I'm a little whingy moaner, aren't I? Let me see. Go up, right up to there. Okay. I seem to recall doing this on that other tower over there. I think I did it. Did I do it jabbering away like I did last time, or did I do it speedy uppy? I can't remember. I've slept since then, people. Come on, you can do it. You can. There we go. I knew I could. And we've got these torches, and if I remember correctly, there's a sneaky one on that side. Yep. There's one over here. I'm in such a good mood. La 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 la. Okay, and then we'll do this side. Go up and away. Up and away in my beautiful balloon. Oh dear, I'm sorry, I sang. Didn't mean to. Didn't do it on purpose. Forgive me. Oh dear. Come on. There we go. And another one. And we've run out. Please say we haven't run out. No, we haven't. One more, and come on. Ta-da! But sometimes it's just easier if you can, you know, zap a column in like that. And sometimes it's not. It just makes things confusing. You just have to play these things by ear. Oops. And then, you know, why bother with a blueprint at all? Just randomly throw blocks in there, Tash, you know. Nobody cares. I care. Yes. Oh, I'm stuck on the ladder now. When I want to be on a ladder, nope, can't do it for love nor money. When I don't want to be on a ladder, ta-da! I'm like, like a Chinese acrobat. Oops. Why? Oh, there we go. Because we've run out of those. La 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 la. I want to do this tower. I'm going to do a tower. I'm getting dizzy going round and round and round. I'm not even doing it for real. Oh, motion sickness for the win. Okay, so it looks like we've got to the little top of this. Why did I feel like I'd already placed those in? It was a very strange sensation. I thought, oh, I put those in already. I couldn't have, obviously, but it just felt like I'd gone 5 times instead of 4 times round, if that makes sense. Probably only in my head that makes sense, but you know, my head's what matters. Oh yes, indeed, I am in one of those moods. It's been one of those days that I even I don't know if you know, but I do on occasion tend to write short stories. I mean, I write novels too, but every now and then it's a little idea comes into my head, and it's never enough of an idea to say, well, that could be a fully fledged novel, but it could be, you know, sort of a short story. And I don't know, it's just something that the cats did today, and it just screamed story to me in my head. So I did write like almost like a conversation with me and the cats, and that's still buzzing around in my head, and I'm kind of thinking, I can't believe how sometimes inspiration does that. You know, I haven't written for a long while. I haven't been inspired. It's kind of again, that's sometimes how it is. I think I've said before, sometimes you want to do a painting and sometimes you don't, you know, and sometimes I want to write and sometimes it just doesn't happen. But yes, today has been a righty day, so that's good. I've had a little bit of creativity, and there we go. We've got tower number 2, waha! Which kind of means that with this we've got the entire front done. So, hooray for us, hey! We've got this bit done, and I do want to sort of blueprint just this front bit so we can build it. I'm thinking it's probably going to be 2 or 3 times to take it over to there. And that'll be nice, but we will blueprint. I don't think we'll publish it as a blueprint. In fact, I'm quite sure I won't. And the reason why I won't is because it's not for me to publish it, because it is from somebody else's blueprint in the first place. So that's it. No. I will do it for my own use just so I can repeat it. But yeah, that's almost like claiming ownership of somebody else's work, and I would never, ever do that. It doesn't feel right to me in any shape or form, and we'll probably I don't know, I think I keep pondering what I'm going to do to get to that island, but I think what I'm going to do is I will do something of my own to get, you know, through here to there. I might even do sort of, I don't know, maybe a little underground or underwater tunnel and sort of pop it out, because, you know, this we know that quite a lot of this is kind of hollow, and sort of pop it out somewhere. I mean, that might be something to think about. Right, so I'm going to glide it down onto this beautiful glass roof. I really like this. And down here, plop. We've got this little, you know, sit down and have a little look around. Can't really, oh, there we go. There we go, look around that way. Look up my nostrils. Oops, look through my toes. That's very bizarre. Okay, enough of that kind of very surreal thing. Now the interesting thing is, how do you get up onto here? I know how to get into here and into here, but how do you get up to here? I mean, we're trapped, aren't we? That's interesting. Huh. How odd. There's definitely no sort of legitimate way of getting down here. So why would you be sitting up here if you can't get up here? I'll throw that question out. Whoops. Okay. That's how you get down. You just fall. Yes, that's a little oversight maybe. I think possibly what I will do when I'm finished is, because you can go in here, but then sort of somewhere here maybe put a door so you can get out onto that balcony. There's absolutely no way of getting up there otherwise, is there? I haven't missed anything. Just maybe we end up building something over here that takes us onto that little bit there. So hold off, you never know. Might still happen. Right, here's another bit. Are we gonna do up to this bit now? I think so. Trying to figure out where it all goes. Okay, so we've got a little bit of an up bit just here, and then can we reach all the way down there? Of course we can. All the way down. Yay, that was easy. Sometimes it takes a while. What's that? Oh, because it's the inner corner one. I do like these new corners and that sort of thing. I know it was something that as a community we were asking for quite a long while, and Playful just went, yep, sure, here you go, ta-da. I was like, wow. I mean, I've played other games, and I have actually had an experience. I won't say who the developers were, but I think people who play the same game that I play will know exactly who I'm referring to. But I had a very sort of, well, I considered it to be legitimate complaint, and so I sort of wrote to them and I said, I don't think this, hello chaps, I don't think this is on. I didn't phrase it quite so the way I say it now. It sounds quite facetious, but no, I just said, is there anything that you can do about this? And then they said, well, we don't see that there's anything wrong with it. And I'm like, well, okay, I don't think it's overly pleasant, but fair enough. And ultimately what I was told was, well, just shut up and play the game. So it's like, right, interesting attitude for a developer to have, instead of saying, okay, well, we've considered what's happened and we don't think it's serious, la 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 la, but just to say to someone, "Oh, just shut up and play the game." It was like, okay. And it seems to have been, it's like a sort of continuous attitude with them, is that, well, if you don't like it, leave. And what they're failing very much to notice is that people are taking their advice and they are leaving. So it's quite sad, but what can I say? It's their game. If that's how they want to deal with things, then that's up to them, isn't it? But I don't know how I got onto that topic. But contrast that sort of attitude with the can-do attitude of Playful, and I just marvel at it all the time. It's like, the players say, "Oh, Playful, what about this?" And Playful go, "Okay, here you go." And we're all like, "Oh, well, thanks." We didn't quite expect that quite so soon. And they're also very open to sort of saying, "Okay, well, we've heard that. We like it. It might take us a little bit longer because, you know, it's a bit more complicated to do. But nothing's ever, well, no, we ain't doing that, pal. Or if it is something that they can't do, or it's something that they don't want to see, then they're quite happy to sort of say, we like that idea, but it's not something we're going to implement, and, you know, these are the reasons. And to me, that's exactly how it should be. You know, you keep everybody informed, you engage with your community, and I think this is why... Oh, hello? Oh, it's a corner. Okay. And you tend to... I think then you build a really, really good, positive community, and that's what I've found in abundance on Creativerse, which is why I'm such a big fan, I suppose. Yeah, slightly biased probably. Not ashamed of it either. Trying to... If I go a little bit quiet sometimes, it's just because my brain's going, what next? And sometimes I can't talk and think at the same time. This is why usually I stream with other people instead of on my own. Because then they can fill in the gap when my brain's going, I don't know. Oh dear. Right, so there we go. I'll plinkety plonkety these in. I might as well go right along the line, hey. Hi, oh, I kind of need to put that in first, don't I? Oops. It's kind of strange how they sometimes stack and sometimes don't. I'm sure there's a reason why it does that, but I don't know it. I don't know. Oops. What? I'm confusing myself. I'm trying to do too many things at once, and I'm confusing myself. And I know that's not very hard to do. No, it's just bedrock wall. Okay. I'm sure the other one was a corner. Or is it this? It's a corner. Oh, that's just... is this the corner? I knew there was a corner somewhere. Oh, bless my soul. Okay, so this is quite nice, this little sort of wall. But again, so I'm kind of seeing a flaw here in that, well, this kind of stairs up to here and it's like, boop, bump your nose on the wall. So we've got stairs to go into. Unless it was designed to have a block phaser there, but then it would capture block phasers. Although having block phasers there isn't a bad idea. She says, rubbing her imaginary chin beard. Oh dear me. Interesting. Very interesting. Right, and I can't believe that I've taken all this time just doing this. Normally I go like now speeding up, but no, I've just jabbered and placed and jabbered and placed. And you poor guys must be thinking, oh, plinkety plonkety plinkety plonkety. I need to bring this down. I'm going to put that there, I think. There. Oh, that brightened things up. Oh yes, because I haven't put my torch on. So, oh, hold on. There was something down there. Oh, down there, and then there is that, and that. That's why the other side confused me. I've kind of gone a bit wibbly wonky. I think that's what I did. And wibbly wonky is a word. That's several words, but you know, it's a thing. Okay, so we'll put that in, and then we'll get these slabs done. We'll get that in. There we go, we have ramparts on that side. I do find it interesting that there is no way of getting from one edge of the ramparts to the other. It kind of seems, it does seem a little bit of an oversight, but as I've said, there might be some sort of crosswalk over here that I'm not seeing yet, that I don't remember from, you know, checking out the blueprint. So there might be something that kind of spans this and lets you go into there. Otherwise, yeah, it just seems a little peculiar that you can't access it. And if it turns out that you can't access it in some shape or form, then I will definitely create some manner of legitimately getting through here. And I mean, this to me seems like, you know, you remove those two and put just have a way of walking through this area. That seems to me like the logical thing to do. And whether I do it using block phases or whether I just make a hole, I'm not decided. I'll decide that when I've built the blueprint. And I know there's a lot of people who, if they modify a blueprint, they modify it as they go along. I tend to like to build it and then go around and change things. That's just me. Alright, so I've rattled on for about good half an hour, believe it or not. So what I'll do is I will do a bit of speeded up building and then come back and do a sign off. So enjoy the jiggity joggity music and me going plinkety plonkety plonk doing this. I think it's going to be this central, whether it's a tower or not, we shall find out. But yes, enjoy the music. well, I've done quite a lot of recording, and it's not been easy for me. I've lost a lot of footage, had a lot of corrupted files, and what I'm trying to do is I've got a new recording software that I'm using that's a lot better. It was more complicated to use, so I wasn't very good at it, but I've been given some very valuable help and advice from Saber of the Creative Core membership. He's been very, very helpful to me and showed me how to work the new software, so I'm not such an idiot. And this is what I'm recording this final bit on now. There will be another video showing as much as I can of what I recorded of doing the trying to think of the words, I've lost my words, doing the blueprint build. Unfortunately, there were some losses. It's not complete, and I'm very, very sorry about that. It just couldn't be helped. So yeah, I will do my best. Oops. We don't want that, do we? To save what I can, and you know, the rest, I'm afraid it's gone. That's c'est la vie, as they say. But this is I'm just going to record this as my sort of sign out, because this video is already very long. I didn't actually realize how much footage had been recorded, but I wanted to let you know what was going on. So hopefully, you know, I will save absolutely as much as I can, and you know, the rest we will just have to chalk it up to experience, won't we? And hope that things go a lot better for me in the future. But I do thank you in advance for your forbearance on that, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you all. But anyway, this is Tashlan, and of course Charlie the dog, and Puddon Anpye the pussycats, and you know, we love you loads. Peace out, peeps.